Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Adamu Plays Timber and Stone. Timber and Stone. Okay. So we got a nice new batch of crops coming. We are growing, actually I was wrong, we actually are growing some wheat. Oh, we're actually growing wheat here too. I thought that was corn. Maybe we should be growing more corn instead of wheat. We definitely don't need this much wheat because we're making more than we use. Maybe we can remove this farm altogether. Yeah, and just see how well it goes with this bit. What's this? I wonder what this farm is right here. I don't know. Oh, that's probably the wheat. Actually, yeah, it's a wheat farm. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We don't need it. We don't want you. We don't need you. I'm like really thirsty today. I just feel really thirsty. Water. I guess I'm just dehydrated. So our tower is still coming along. It's gonna be... They got this layer in. This is gonna be like the top little bit of right here. It's actually pretty big. Now that I have it all built, it's bigger than I thought. I probably maybe should have gone just a little bit smaller, but I think it'll be fine. It's a bit too late now to really worry about it. I would have to like dig out this whole thing and rebuild it. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not. We did have a bunch of goblins come in between the episodes. Let's see, and there's literally just a big pile of dead goblins right here, which is pretty hilarious. It's really great. I got these forces up now to a good level to where these goblins, they just come in and these guys are like little Cuisinarts and they just mow them down. It is a glorious sight to behold, truly. Let's go ahead and put some more umber right here. The last little bit should complete this little doorway section. Let's go ahead and... I meant to be making this pillar the whole way so it doesn't have this green stuff, but well, it's kind of too late now. Or is it? Oh, no, nope. I'm not having it. I'm just not having it. Let's get rid of that. And we can put in some more scaffolding. Sort of make it easier to reach, I guess. Let's page down. So we can actually work with this. And we'll just go out. Like so. Hold on. Let's get rid of this bit. Alright. Just make it easier to put in another layer right there to replace the one I'm removing. And let's go ahead and work on the next layer here. So I haven't put in scaffolding up on this side to reach this wall. Reach this wall. Like so. And I don't know if I want to continue this ledge around the outside. I'm thinking that is something I am going to do, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to hold off doing that right now. And let's go ahead and get these corner pieces in. Just regular umber. So today, I kind of want to talk about sort of like world events going on, because that's something I like to kind of keep up with. I know there's been some really interesting things going on in the news, in the world. Sort of chief among them recently, as of this recording, has been the whole like Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. It's a weird exit, the British exit, the Brexit. There we go. Where the EU, or rather Britain, has voted to sort of leave the EU, which honestly I am not that happy about. Not for political reasons, but for economic ones. So I have what are called I have what's called a Roth IRA, and I also have another, it's called an inherited fund or inherited IRA, I think. But basically, I have it's basically sort of an account, or it's like stocks that I have put into in what's called an index fund. Now this is all really boring stuff, but basically it's all for retirement, and it's all based on how well the economy is doing, how well the markets are doing, and I gain money. This is kind of a weird thing I have right here going on. I don't know if I like it. I don't really know how to fix it either. That is strange. I guess I should have gone out one more from this instead of being. I guess it's fine. It's fine. It's going to have to be fine, I think. But yeah, and people don't realize that the British have made a really. They have, by leaving the EU, freaked out the market, and the S&P and the Dow Jones, which are sort of like the biggest indexes for the stock market. I don't exactly know what they're all about necessarily, but I do know they're really important, and they have gone down a lot just since that, the outcome of that referendum, and it's been less than ideal, and there are a lot of people that are worried it might actually trigger something of a recession, like another worldwide recession like we had in 2008, which of course would be a really awful thing to have happen, and hopefully that can be avoided, but then again, maybe not. So that's definitely a concern, especially a concern of mine, especially. And it's not a small thing, I should say. But on the other hand, I mean, I kind of get where the British are coming from. Alright, so if you don't know, the EU is sort of all these different European states had agreed to sort of work together in order so that they can have a shared currency, which is I have actually realized this wall's one out too far. I'm gonna have to dig this down. And also, so for travel, so that people who are EU citizens are free to move between the different countries that make up the EU without having to have like passports or needing to go through checkpoints or anything like that. And that, so a doctor in Germany could then get a job as a doctor in France and just be able to go over there and move without really any trouble, without having to go through any extra steps, without having to go get a green card, without having to you know, have a different, like, doctorate certificate, like, you know, what works in Germany will work in France and vice versa and stuff. Will you please get out of the way, Clementine? Clementine. Clementine, please. Clementine. Please. No. You. What are you doing? What are you doing to me, Clementine? No, stop. You're going to get... Okay, pause. Seriously, you're driving me crazy. Let's turn you to anything real quick. And get Nigel out of here. Nigel? Nigel. What is your problem? Nigel? What? What was that? What the heck? Brunhilde Gerland is killed by an unseen killer. Interesting. Okay, well that was a migrant, and I guess they got killed by some mobs out there? Weird. Okay. Alright. So that was the... Anyway, so going back to the EU, that was kind of... These guys have all gotten stuck, haven't they? Oh my god. Okay. I swear to God, I cannot do anything in this game without... You just have to put tons of scaffolding everywhere. That's the only solution that I found that's worked for the builders. Just before you build anything, make sure you have just put an absolute ton of... just an absolute ton of... it's the word that I've said so many... Scaffolding. Just put an absolute ton. Just go crazy with the scaffolding. You can't have too much scaffolding. Just all the scaffolding in the world to give your guys plenty of sort of paths that they can take, because if things are too narrow, things just get gummed up, and it's a nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare. Ugh. Anyway, so okay. So the idea behind the EU is that, you know, it's better for the economy. They basically cooperate, kind of like the United States. How, you know, if you go to college in one state and get a doctorate degree or whatever, you can then take that degree in anywhere in the United States. You can get up and move from one state to the other. You don't have to have a passport to get from one state to the other. There's no checks between states. You know, there's free trade between the states, theoretically anyway. And in the EU, that's what they want to basically replicate what we have here in the United States. In the United States, that works really well for us. In the EU, they wanted to have the same thing, but what that came with was a ton of regulation, because if all these states are going to be cooperating, the only doing, you know, like what I said with the open borders and whatnot, they all need to be on the same page when it comes to like various regulations for like products and services and other things and whatnot. And if you think like, you know, there's like in the United States we have like the EPA and the FDA and the USDA and like all these different, you know, all these different regulation bodies. You know, in the EU, they have all the equivalents of all that stuff, but previously each country had their own version of it, and they all had different regulations. And so that was going to cause a lot of problems if they were going to be selling trades and products and services back and forth. So they all decided that there needed to be a EU body that would basically be in charge of all the regulations, and all be the same regulations that everyone would abide by. Well, a lot of these regulations are determined by, or basically based in like Germany mostly, from what I understand. I don't know. I don't have all the facts. And a lot of people, especially in Britain stuff, had some serious problems with all of these regulations. And I think a lot of people felt like, you know, in Britain that they are basically trading away their sovereignty to be a member of the EU, which I don't know that's really a fair criticism, but that's the way they felt anyway. You know, and I think a lot of it comes from that, combined with the sort of disillusionment with politicians and the government system in general, which is not just a European thing. I mean, we're obviously having a lot of that over here in the United States, which accounts for the popularity of, people like, Bernie Sanders and even Donald Trump. Although, don't get me started on that. But, yeah, and I think it was more of a rebuke against the sort of what was felt like to be, sort of excesses of EU regulation and just overall dissatisfaction with government. I don't think anyone really realized that was actually voting for it really meant. And it's been really funny is that a lot of people, I think now that they've done it and they didn't really think it seems like they didn't really think it through. And now they really, really regret these decisions. Although now it's a bit late, to be honest. So that's just a weird, funny thing that happened. Don't know what to do about it. But there you go. And I think they will backtrack. I think that now that they've, sort of, you have to be careful what you wish for. And now that they got what they wished for, I think they're regretting it, and they're going to try to backtrack and, stay in the EU, and that kind of thing. But the EU, is they're gonna. Why has this still not been built yet? I wonder. Can they not reach this? I'm wondering if they can even reach this. I probably can if they get a. I get a bit of scaffolding in here. That should probably do it. And I know it was mostly just Britain. I know, I know that Scotland, all the districts in Scotland actually voted to stay in the EU, and that I think the Prime Minister of Scotland, or I forget what the name of the position is, but they were talking about either redoing the referendum to leave the EU, or failing that, having another referendum in Scotland to leave the EU, or not leave the EU, but leave the UK in favor of staying with the EU, which is something that could happen. You could actually see Scotland break away from the UK, and possibly, Northern Ireland would follow suit, and we could end up seeing the breakup of the UK, which would be a really major historical event, to say the least. But all of this is going to come with a lot of economic instability, which is not good for people who have, interest in stocks, like me, for example. So, it's just one big mess. And if it wasn't such a serious thing that actually affects, people's lives, it'd be comical, But anyway, sort of enough of that. So let's go up here by 3. Let's go ahead and clear this out so they can still get up here. So I'm going to pause this real quick. So the debate I'm having right now in my head is, do I want to go up the wall here, another layer, or do I want this to be sort of the final countdown, delete. No, the final layer, and sort of do what I did here up at this point. I feel like this would actually be a good moment to do that. So I think I am going to do that. I'm going to put some openings here. Maybe open this up. Open this up. Oh, that is not. I added box, or designations. So this is kind of a weird thing right here. Maybe not. I think that could work. And then over here, where's the music? Where's the music? There's no music. It's because I paused the game, I wonder? Huh, do I want to... I don't think I want one right there, actually. Right. And I don't know what I'm going to do here, so let's just get rid of this wall for the moment. I'm not sure if I want it there or not. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this backside, to be honest. I suppose I ought to do something. Why is this not taken care of? Can they not get to this for some reason? Yeah, maybe they just couldn't path to it because that was blocking the way. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. And this. And this down here. Oops. I think I want to put in another umber brick corner right here. Which I guess means digging this out. I don't know if they can reach up there. They'll be able to. I think I've removed something they need. Let's go ahead and put in some more scaffolding. I have a lot of scaffolding on this. I was going to say this might be excessive, but it really isn't. It really isn't excessive. I'm actually needing all of the scaffolding, which is really, really silly. Alright, so I think we're getting pretty close to finishing this side of it. At least. Let's go ahead and put in a little landing here. Oops. I might end up going around the entire inside with castle brick. I'm not sure. But we'll leave it at that for now. Alright, I'm still not 100% how this is going to turn out. I might want to put some windows in these sections. Just to give a little bit of extra, like, detail or something. Or something. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching. This is Timber and Stone. I am Adamu. Goodbye.